We are joined by the Alamogordo athletic training squad team. I'm not sure how you guys describe yourselves. And their head athletic trainer and, of course, teacher over at Alamogordo High School, David Maldonado. David, how are you?
Good, Charles. It's going great. Thanks for having us again. It's always fun to come talk to you for a little while.
Absolutely. And you're busy with so much right now, as is this entire group. You want to introduce the four that you brought with you today?
We're definitely busy. I mean, we are doing 3 seasons in essentially the one season time of a month. Or time of the year. So today we have all seniors today. We got a couple of our captains and just a couple of seniors. So our first senior is Hayley Shaw. Okay. She's been in the program. This is going to be 3, right? 4 years. Or 4 years. And then Brianna she's a captain. This is going to be her 3rd year. Gavin, senior, Gavin Bond will be 2nd year. And then Cordy's also a captain. And she'll be, this is her 2nd year this year.
How's everybody doing today? Good?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Okay, good. That's what I want to hear. Well, David, gosh, how different has these last couple of months been as an athletic trainer? You've been doing this for how many years now?
This is going to be professionally I've been doing it. This will be year 5. This is the 4th year here at Alamogordo.
Yeah, I mean, can you even describe how different this is?
No, it's crazy. I mean, the biggest part was when it happened. So I was at the state basketball tournament when all this went down. So I didn't even get to see half these kids because I was gone for that week for the state basketball tournament. So essentially, it shut down and I didn't see them for months on the end. I don't even remember how long it exactly was before I saw them again. But planning for this was the biggest thing. You're planning for what-if moments, and that was the most frustrating because you were planning for something, and then it got moved. And then you'd plan for something again, and now the rules changed. So that's how everything was there. So the biggest differences for us is that now we have to figure out my athletic training was not very big to begin with, so now we have to figure out how to get people in and out of there and keep it safe as well. So we'd have to figure that out. Figure out water. That's another thing. We share water bottles normally with teams, and this year we couldn't do that, so we had to buy different equipment, things like that. Some of the stuff that we're doing now will be something we're going to probably continue to do just because it's made our jobs easier, actually. It's a little bit more setup time, but it actually makes our jobs a little bit easier. Let's see, as far as, and then getting people temperature checking every day, doing all those different things, and wearing a mask. That's another thing. It's hard, especially when the kid's freaking out. Like, they're wearing their mask. Sometimes you have to take it off to get their breathing to regulate. So we have to do that, and just trying to get the coaches on board. Hey, like, this is what we're doing now. We have to follow these regulations versus this, and like their coach will be like, well, what's the rule changes? Like, I'll tell you when I know because the rules change every day.
Yeah.
So it was every day we come in and what's the rules today? Well, we'll see what the sheet of music we're going to play with today. That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah. Hayley, what's been the biggest difference for you in terms of being an athletic trainer the last few years to this year? What's the biggest thing you've noticed?
Well, I have to start off that I'm also an athlete and an athletic trainer or student athletic trainer aide, and so as we're combining all these seasons in this short time period, it's like constantly rushing, and we're used to like working athletic training on my off season, so I'd work basketball when I'm not doing soccer or track. But this year, I am doing the sports and athletic training, so I'm trying to show up as much as I possibly can. Just a lot more rushed, a lot more trying to stay safe so you don't get contact traced, and get my teams out. So
yeah,
that's huge.
Maybe a little bit of a taste of the real world coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
Out there.
Time management.
Yeah. Brianna, how about you? What's been the biggest difference that you felt like you've seen over the last few weeks compared to maybe previous years?
Nothing too crazy, to be honest. It's way more busier than I'm used to, but like Hayley said, time management, you got to get good with it anyway, so.
Just kind of have to deal with it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Gavin, how about you? Pretty much the same as the ladies?
Yeah, I think especially I'm also an athlete, and cross country, we don't get a lot of audience or people coming to watch anyways.
Hey, you guys won 2 state trophies this year, so.
Yeah, pretty impressive. But not having all the people there at the games, I think it was last night. I know this week's weird. Last night we had some girls' basketball games, and usually they're really hyped and people are just enjoying it, but it's just the teams and coaches, and it was kind of weird to having no one there.
Yeah, I was at Gaston last night, and the air conditioning was running heavy, and it was like being in a library with the air conditioning and taking, your standardized tests. That's what it was reminded me of last night. I was having flashbacks to high school and college. Cordy, how about you? What have you noticed the biggest difference for you?
That's definitely part of it is no audience anywhere. So it's so weird. You just feel like you're alone, and then not being able to touch the athlete how you usually would. You have to make sure that you're being safe all around. more than you usually would. And then the other thing is definitely how we learn this year. So like in a normal year, you hit the sports first and then we hit the learning for comp. This year we were kind of backwards and now we're hitting the ground running with everything.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, David, I know the having to sanitize stuff obviously has become a big part of what you guys are working on as well, because not that you weren't doing that before, because obviously you guys were very clean and mindful of that, but certainly it's become much more of an emphasis.
Yeah, definitely the more emphasis, and it's more of it's a visual thing to make sure people know that we're actually doing it. It's more sort of more visual about it, and then also it's just one of those things that you don't think about how many things are touched during athletics until you actually have to clean everything.
Yeah.
Like, well, there's the ball and there's the chairs and or even just a simple thing like a timeout for a varsity basketball game. Normally a full timeout, they sit down next to each other. So now we have to separate. The chairs are separated. So now we have a little other system that we use, kind of like the colleges where we bring out chairs for the coaches to sit out. That would just the guys that are on the court talk to coach, and then we bring those out and sanitize each of those things. So that's a little bit different than we normally do. Football got spoiled this year with the way we give them water. It was kind of more like the NFL, where we squirted it into their mouth. So they kind of like that. They kind of felt like superstars when that happened. So people like Gavin didn't have a problem because he's super tall, but definitely some of the shorter people had to have him bend down and things like that. But it worked out. And I think it's something we might keep that way, just because it keeps stuff from spreading a lot. I mean, obviously the COVID's the biggest thing now, but normal times would be flu, cold, things like that. Those can also derail a team. So if the kids get sick, so something like that will help. But yeah, definitely cleaning things. It's a lot. Normally we have people coming in and out of the training room for treatment times. Now every time someone touches the table, we have to clean it before the next person comes in. Where it used to be we just roll in kids in and out. But it's something we're working through. We're getting good at it, and hopefully we'll just get normal at some point again.
Yeah. Obviously, we're crossing our fingers on that.
Exactly.
Sure. Cordy, I mean, what's been your favorite part of being part of the athletic training group? I mean, and how many years is this for you?
This is my second year.
This is your second year. What have you enjoyed the most about being part of this program and working with David?
Definitely the people. I've made some really good friends in this program, and it's just like the more like you're into it, the more people you meet. The athletes, the people in the program, the teachers, the other schools. It's just everyone, and it's like a really good experience to get to know everyone and how everyone's different. And honestly, this year one of my favorite parts was meeting the rookies, because it's a whole new group and you get to tell them like what it's like and what you experience and what they're going to get to experience, and it's awesome.
Very good. Gavin, how about you? What's been your favorite part of being a part of this?
Overall, I really like learning all the skills, like all the tape jobs, and even if I don't make this like a future career, it could still be stuff that can help me in future life, just having like that memory of medical care.
Okay. Brianna, how about you?
To be honest, like, the people are amazing. I love working with all the athletes, all the different people in the group. Like Cordy said, the rookies, since I've been in the program for 3 years, I can kind of explain how it's going to feel the next year that you've been in there. You know, once you get comfortable with everything, and just helping teach people everything that I know to set them up for,
Yeah, going forward.
Yeah.
I got you. Hayley, how about you? What have you enjoyed the most about being part of this program?
I'm going to have to go with pretty much everybody else in this group.
Yeah.
The family, the people in the program, it's so amazing. Such a great group of people, and you just become such great friends. You're so bonded over everything, and just the jokes that you make all the time. And you already know what someone's saying just by the look on their face. It's amazing. It's a whole different vibe from anything else.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys are making road trips just like the teams are, mainly during football season. That's usually the one that you guys end up traveling for more than anything else.
Yeah, so football, we travel. That's so much we travel. We always travel with football. Other times, if the teams make state tournament or whatever, and schedules work out, we'll travel with them too. But yeah, this year we had to travel with the football team majority of the time. We had one game when we actually traveled without on our own, which was a different thing. So normally I like to get places early, set up before the team gets there, and have kind of know what's going on in that stadium, especially if it's a stadium I've never been to. And we had a bunch of stadiums this year that we've never been to, or haven't been to in a long time. So that was difficult. I mean, at Bernalillo, and to be honest, that as far as setting up for athletic training, it was a complete mess. I mean, I didn't feel comfortable when I was trying to get everything figured out, just because it was totally new. And so we got there right when the bus, we got there late, so we were rushed against the clock. So there was a bunch of different things, but as we got used to it and started traveling with the team on the bus, it got easier. And then of course we get to the bowl game and Artesia, and we get to go on our own and get there on time, and kind of felt normal again, where we got to set up before they got there and have everything in place. So that was nice. So traveling, and that's another good thing with these kids when they get to travel on the Suburban and stuff like that. It's another bonding time for them because we're there. It's only all of us packed in the Suburban. We kind of like a family road trip, so to speak. Snacks are flying around everywhere. People passing stuff to each other and all those different things. And so that this year, obviously, some of those stuff didn't happen. But normally we get those processes going, eating together. And that's another thing we have to figure out. You can't just go sit down and eat somewhere anymore. You have to plan ahead and eat outside or whatever it was. So it was cool, the adjustment point of it. But it was. I'm glad we're back in person doing things. I know the rookies definitely kind of got the short end of the stick because normally they get to come in and kind of get experience right away, but they had to sit and listen to me talk on the Google Meet for half a year. Which, they like to learn, but they don't want to listen to me talk on the Google Meet all the time. And
because it's very much a hands-on thing.
Exactly, you have to be able to touch things and move things around, and it's hard to show them how to tape an ankle on a Google Meet, which is almost impossible to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, speaking of taping ankles, part of competition. Now, you guys didn't get to do competition last year, right? So
No.
You guys have been state champions for 2 years, right?
Yeah, so we're still reigning champs right now. We like to make sure everybody knows that. No one's beaten us yet, and so it's one of the things, especially the seniors from last year. That's one of the things they kind of hang their hat on is no one's beat them. So they kind of have that still. But definitely for these guys here, last year, being super confident from last year, I think we would have ran away with it last year. This year, we should still be a favorite to win it. Our kids, we're returning a lot of really good kids, and they're really smart. And they've only gotten better since their junior year too, especially these 4 that are sitting here with us right now. And I don't see anybody that would have been better than any of these 4 sitting here right now. So. And
if I remember right, there's a written test and then there's a practical application.
Correct.
Right?
So this year we'll see what the practical is going to happen. Obviously, COVID's changed things, so normally we'll be with people with the practical version. There's definitely going to be the 150 question test still. We'll see how the practical is going to happen. We'll see. They talked about doing it on a Zoom call, maybe make it happen. We'll see. It's one of those things that you got to work the kinks out and see what happens.
Yeah. And you guys have got a competition next week and then state sometime next month, right?
Correct. So, next week we are competing in the West Texas Sports Medicine Competition. It's actually a national qualifier for a national competition that's hosted by the, I don't remember exactly it's AACI, but it's a group for sports medicine. But it's hosted by Hertford, Texas. So it's a bunch of West Texas teams. We got a few coming from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's all online, and then we also have the biggest one that I compete against is the El Paso schools. We kind of have a little Twitter rivalry. It's all friendly. It's all friendly what we do on there, but we kind of try to compare because we can't compete head to head other than this one. So it's one of those things. It's for bragging rights. So we're excited. We want to be the New Mexico school that steals a trophy from Texas, and that's one of our goals now is to bring a Texas trophy and have it in our trophy case. So it's really exciting for that.
Haley, what do you like most about the competition? You got a chance to do that a couple years ago, or is this your first chance to do it?
Yeah, my sophomore year. We got to do it. My favorite part, probably the practical when we all get in groups and we get to work on that one person. Mm-hmm. It was really cool because they assign each person like something different, and so while you're standing there, you're all, oh my gosh, like what am I gonna get? Am I gonna do it right? But whenever you get up there, you're all, I got it. I know I'm doing this right. It just feels so good, and you're so confident in what you did, and your whole team just looks at you, and you're like, you did good. Yeah. It's an amazing feeling, and you walk out, and you contributed to everything, and it's great.
What did you end up having to do in the practical last time around?
Last time, I think I splinted. I splinted an ankle. Yeah.
Okay.
It was really cool.
All right, very good. Brianna, how about you? What have you enjoyed about the competitions?
To be honest, I love showing what I know. It was definitely an interesting time. Like, I went up there sophomore year, I was terrified because they gave us a test. It was really thick, and I was like, oh no.
Wait a minute, I have to take a test for this too?
Yeah, no, this is huge. And then once you started taking it, you get really comfortable, and then the practical part was pretty fun. Because you get put with 4 different people, and you just like pull a straw pretty much, and whatever that is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So.
What did you end up having to do?
I ended up getting wound care.
Okay.
Which was pretty easy. I was like, oh, that's fine.
Was there one that you were more nervous about than the other? Or?
Landmarks. Okay. Landmarks are always a difficult one for me, but I've gotten better since then.
Explain landmarks for those of us that are on the outside. What is that?
Landmarks are pretty much like.
They're different parts of the body that you have to to identify. So you have little stickers, and so they're pretty small, and you have to pinpoint the exact location of that body part.
Okay.
So they'll ask for like a olecranon, which is the tip of your elbow, and you have to put it right on the exact spot, or they'll ask for like a different, let's say use like the mentalis muscle, which is on your chin, or whatever like that. There's 10 different ones, and they give you, I think it's 5 minutes to do it, so you kind of rush against the clock, so you can't really think about it, you kind of have to know it, and then you just have to be exact, because there's no leeway with those stickers.
Yeah. Brianna, I understand why you're nervous about that one. He's mentioning muscle and bone names. I'm going, all right, sure. He could have told me that was on the chin, and I could have totally believed that, and it was somewhere like on the knee. Huh?
Right.
I had no idea. Gavin, so did you get a chance to compete in state a couple years? This will be your first time?
This will be my first time.
Okay, is there something you're more excited about, more nervous about going into it than any other? Or?
I really like, I like the test parts of stuff. When I took the class test where it was my favorite things, it'd be like, yeah, I know this. It made me very confident that I know this stuff. Get a little shaky when you have to do the hands-on, which is, as I've done it more, I've gotten better at it, but I definitely like the test part of
Okay.
I think with Gavin's part is that he's a perfectionist. So when you're taping something and it doesn't line up correctly, then he freaks out. Even though it is done correctly, but it's not correctly in his head. That's kind of what throws him off. But yeah, he's a great taper. It's just one of those things that freaks himself out when he's taping because it's that's not lined up correctly. I don't like it.
Yeah. So something obviously you got to work on because sometimes it's a time sensitive thing for you, right?
Yeah, it's kind of rough. We have like a under 60 thing which you have to get for your level, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do that, David. We're cutting it close.
Yeah. All right. Cordelia, this is going to be your first competition as well. What are you most excited about, maybe nervous about going into?
I'm nervous about all of it. But I'm the type of person where if I know something's going to come, I definitely freak out about the entire thing, and I doubt myself for everything too. So I could do something exactly perfect, and I'll be like, no, it's not right. That's wrong. I did it 100% wrong, and I'll redo it, and then I'll do it wrong. But I've learned that I'm usually good with my first instinct, but I just gotta learn to not doubt it.
Yeah, when it gets to that moment, make sure you know what you know what you're doing.
I have to take the chance of taking it 100% right or taking it 100% wrong.
Yeah, I got you. Everybody here is seniors. Cordy, is athletic training, is this something that you want to try to work on as you head into college? Or?
It's definitely something I love doing and I'm really interested in, but there's just so much I can work with and so much I can do, but it'll definitely benefit whatever I choose to do in the future.
Yeah. Have you made, do you know where you're going to college?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, okay. And still obviously looking at what your major is going to be, not sure yet.
Yeah,
okay.
There's just so much.
All right. Gavin, how about you, man?
I'm pretty much in the same boat. I know for a fact I'll be going to NMSU, and right now it's looking like it's going to be athletic training, but like Cordy said, there's just so much out there still which I don't know about.
Yeah, there's 4 years, so obviously there's a lot of time to figure that out. Yep. Brianna, how about you?
To be honest, athletic training has opened so many doors for me, so I'm actually planning on going to nursing through NMSU.
Okay.
But I will definitely keep my skills from athletic training and try to continue them.
Okay. Hayley, how about you?
Athletic training is really set what I think I want to do. I was thinking about doing physical therapy for a very long time, and then I started reconsidering something. I'm still going to study physical therapy through NMSU officially, but I'm going to also side major in animal science, and then I can be an animal rehabilitation technician.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. Well, David, I know it's excited to hear what you're always excited, and I'm sure to follow what you're going to do going forward, because I know you've had kids that have graduated out of this program, and whether they become athletic trainers or not, you're excited to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, we've always wanted to develop future medical professionals or whatever, just people that are going to be successful in college or in their jobs. But majority of the time when they go medicine is what I'm super excited about. And we have a couple students. It's been 4 years now, so a lot of them are starting to graduate from college. Our first graduate from the athletic training program is going to get a medical certification is going to be Isabel Gutierrez. She's going to graduate from Texas Tech with a nursing degree. She's going to be a BSN, which is really exciting. So we're actually going to start, for the first year, we're going to have our Hall of Fame, Gold Standard Hall of Fame. So whenever you graduate with something in medicine, you'll get to be inducted into that. So she'll be the first one this year. I'm really excited for that. So if you get those letters behind your name, you get to go on the wall here in Alamogordo. So she's really excited for it. And we have a few other ones that are just a year away. So pretty soon that wall's going to be filling up, and I'm really excited for that. We see that. And we have a couple that are studying athletic training at NMSU, which is always fun because that's close to my heart because that's where I graduated from. So Misa Tran's there right now. She has one more year. Then we have think Smiley, he's still there. I don't know if he might transfer somewhere else, but he's also studying athletic training there as well. So it's super exciting and super cool to see them do all these things. And we have a bunch of nurses as well. So biggest thing is that we get a bunch of nurses out of my program, which is it's cool because it's essentially the same thing, but they're just working in the hospital versus on the football field. So it works for me.
All right, very good. Well, we wish you best of luck with your competitions coming up here soon, and hopefully enjoy the rest of your senior year. And David, we always appreciate the time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.